The last episode, I spoke to A-Drive, creator of Mega TCG Illustrals, and although I don't plan to make my game the same huge scale as that, I'd like to keep the crafty homemade TCG vibe. He suggested I do a small prototype run of cards before I release my full game. Launching a full TCG through Kickstarter is a huge, long-winded project, so a small batch of decks I can send out to you guys who are eager to play, test the game out with, spot any errors or improvements I could make, and give people a taste of the game before it's launched seems like a really good idea. I plan to make them using MakePlayingCards.com, a print-by-demand site that I've been recommended. You just need a digital image of every card. They've got a pretty easy system where you just upload everything along with the backs, any rulebooks or accessories. Choose your packaging, whether you want deck boxes or booster packs or some of this craziness. And then if you want some foil cards or other effects, I did go with some foil cards. I'm really excited to see these and place your order. So to start with, I've ordered 3 copies of every card that I can do playtests with. They're currently on their way from China right now. I really hoped they'd arrive for this episode, but unfortunately not the case. Knowing my luck, they'll probably get here as soon as I click upload on this video. But I've literally been running every time the doorbell goes to see if they've arrived. And when they do arrive, I might have to do an in-between episodes special opening video. I'm Zach. I'm a nerd. I've been making trading card games since I was 8 years old, and I'm now 27 with an art degree, a career in product design, and a semi-successful indie trading card game. But I'm taking everything I've learned and putting my current game aside to create a new TCG, starting from nothing and ending with, I guess we'll see. Welcome to a TCG from scratch. Instead of waiting for the postman, I've got a to-do list to prepare for the release of my prototype starter decks. Let's start with the card backs. This is where we got to last episode, and I love the border and the Evo swirl and dice symbolism in the middle, but the in-between bits that represent the paths and stages of evolution look a bit chaotic. And zooming out to a regular card-sized image, they don't look great. There's something always to note. It's easy to get lost in a drawing on screen, and you forget that these cards are going to be tiny in real life. Major TCGs fall into this trap as well, I think. Yu-Gi-Oh cards nowadays are so detailed. What am I looking at here? There's so much going on, I can't tell what the artist wants me to look at. But I think Pokemon achieves a level of detail in its characters that you don't need to go much further beyond. But anyway, I wanted this in-between bit to be like paths of a tree branching out to the card, showing the evolver stages and paths that you can take as you go through the game. So I came up with a few ideas along these lines, added some colour, and ended up with this, which I think is really cool. So I've added these to MakePlayingCards.com, and these will be the card backs for my prototype game. And now I can actually make a complete card here at home, instead of waiting for the mailman all day. But another reason to wait for the mailman is for them to collect all the unwanted stuff I'm selling with the help of today's sponsor, Crosslist. I like getting some extra cash for selling my stuff online, but listing things takes me forever, so that's why I get the help of Crosslist, an amazing new web application that allows online sellers to transfer products between websites in seconds. It simply takes one click from Crosslist to create a form that you can add to new marketplaces, including eBay, Vinted, Facebook Marketplace, and now Whatnot, taking all the hassle out of selling online. It's got a super simple and easy to use interface, and you can delist and relist products at the touch of a button, all done in a matter of seconds. They even have an AI assistant to create your listings, descriptions, and even remove unwanted backgrounds from your photos. It really couldn't be quicker or easier. They've got 4 different pricing options, starting with bronze all the way up to their diamond package that works for large-scale businesses, and you can list without limits. Use code TCGFromScratch30 to get 30% off your first month when you sign up, or click my link down in the description. And a huge thanks to Crosslist for sponsoring this one. Let's get back to the video. Just a quick tip while I'm making these cards at home, rather than trying to figure out double-sided printing or printing the test backs separately and sticking them on, I just like to print the backs upside down attached to the front like this. I can then score them along the bottom using the back of my knife like so, glue them, and then just fold them over. It saves so much time and fiddly alignment. So these are what some finished cards might look like, including this guy, Kazonk, who I completely forgot about. I made him in episode 5, and when I was going through all the unused cards thinking about what to put in set 1, I realised I'd found his artwork and he was meant to be one of the main cards for the desert deck. We've got Ultimate Kazonk, we've got Kazonkling, we've even got Zonk the Ancient, but actual Kazonk himself has missed out somehow. This is why keeping an organised database for your trading card game is so important. I digitalised his artwork to keep it up to speed with the current game. I was still hand drawing when I made him, and I put him in the desert deck. I kind of see the Kazonks as a parallel to the Blubs in the ocean deck. The Blubs are by far the most popular set of cards I've made for the game, so hopefully bulking up the Kazonk archetype a bit more will help give them the same love. And his ability fits the desert realm really well too. So that's one job on the to-do list done, and the next one that stands out to me is the game's name. After some back and forth over a few episodes, we're back to unnamed TCG, and I can't get to printing the prototypes for this game without it having a name. That would just be ridiculous. So I've got 3 options. Option 1, Evolvers TCG. Back to basics, this is the same name I used for this game's predecessor I made when I was 15. It's catchy, it says what the game is, and it's straight to the point, but I feel it's quite basic, it doesn't really stand out or tell a story. Option 2, Evo Realms TCG. It says what the game is, sounds fairly epic, and fits the setting of the game with the realms in which your defenders and evolvers can come from. My one worry is that it's a bit cliche and doesn't really sound like a unique TCG. And option 3, Evolvera TCG. This theorises that the game would be set in the world of Evolvera, and cards would come from the realms within it. It tells a story and adds depth to the game, but I worry it doesn't roll off the tongue very easily. Evolvera. Evolutia? Evolvius? No, Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, but next episode I need to pick a name. Back to the to-do list. An easy one now. I needed to draw some backgrounds for the effector cards. We've got some sunsetty clouds for the sky themed cards, an evolvey swirl for the cards with evolver related abilities, mechanical cogs for the machinery looking cards, and a sort of jagged hellscape for the hell based ones. Sadly, I only have one piece of new artwork to add to the game today, a resource called Scale of Betrayal for the desert deck. This should ramp up in the next episode as I look to start making booster set 1. You've already seen this full speed up if you're a member of the Patreon, but it's a defender killing effector that just gets better as the game gets closer to the end, weighing an opponent's card up against the power of your evolver. It's also always fun to feature the artworks of other cards in new designs, I think, for a TCG, so 10 points to anyone who can name the 2 characters featured on the scales here. And this is what the final artwork looks like for Scale of Betrayal. This is what all the different effectors for the game are looking like so far. Lovely stuff. Could also use this jagged background for my Hell defenders, which brings me to my next point, making the card template for the Hell and Forest defenders. So here's what I did to bring them more in line with the Desert and Ocean defenders, and that's all the card templates and backgrounds done for the deck so far. I'll have to make the Sky Realm and the Fire Realm card templates when it comes to set 1, but I'll probably get to that next episode, or like 3 episodes time. So I just need to digitalise these final few cards, write the rulebook. Really probably should have done that this episode, but all I now have to do is wait for the mailman. Honestly, it's felt like forever the past couple of weeks. And if you're like me and you really can't wait that long to play the game, I've put it online. I'm really excited for this. Also nervous. It could mean the game completely falls apart. But for my last game, Chaos Galaxy, the community found a website called untap.in. Again, super useful if you want to make your own game. It's a more janky version of like Tabletop Simulator. It's a website where you can upload all the cards for your game, build decks, and enter a room with another player. Just pick your deck, and with actions like drawing, dice rolling, playing cards face down, you can pretty much play any TCG you want on there. I've put the full current ocean decks and desert decks on the website. There's also links to full deck lists down below. So over the next few weeks, I'd love to do some game testing and play this prototype version of the game online with you guys. It'd be so much fun. Head to the Chaos Galaxy Discord, that's where I'll be organising things. The guys on there are super friendly too. I want to do some live streams and get some playtests in and interact with you guys. Come and beat me at my own TCG, I know you want to. So as I said, the decks are nailed down and I'm happy with the deck lists. This is until I play some test games and realise that some of these cards are completely broken and I have to change it all. Oh, the joy of TCG making. But a TCG is not about set deck lists. TCGs are about making your own deck, and we don't need another playtest of these full starter decks going up against each other. It's time to get cooking. In the blue corner, for the ocean deck, we're focusing on the blubs. I'll put full deck lists on the Patreon, so join that to check it out. The main aspect we're going to achieve today is 3 copies of Blood Blast. I should really do a 3rd different artwork.
3 copies of him. Then 3 copies of Jubberblub, which is probably the best card to combo with Blood Blast. 3 copies of Blubberator to bring him back, and then 2 copies of Blubbertron 5000 as a solid game ender. We've got 3 copies of Sinister Stepstones to help draw into our Blub cards that we need early game, and then 2 copies of Atlantis to get them back from the dead, as well as 2 Darkwater Shamans. It's crazy seeing 2 of this guy in the same deck. It just...
And in the brown corner, that sounds weird. The brown corner. It's not really a red corner. But we've got Rockabocker. More specifically, Rockabocker Turbo.
Calling this, we've got 3 copies of Rockabocker. He's quickly becoming my favourite card in the game. For only level 6, you can get him onto 500 power fairly easily. And we're going to bring him out as quickly as possible with 3 copies of Zonk the Ancient, because Rockabocker technically has 0 power, as well as 3 copies of Eyes of the Oasis. And then to make sure we roll the 5s we need to get our Rockabockers onto 500 power, I'm using 3 copies of Dice Time Shifter to adjust our dice results, and 2 copies of Mountitanus. We've also got a Kazonk there as an alternative option. I don't know if these decks are going to work. This is as new to me as it is to you guys,
but all we can do is try. I'll get into a playtest.
Desert Evolvers, Ocean Evolvers. Huge shout out to the patrons: Unleash TCG, Corndog7209, Elliot Smith, Clone 13, Per Luca, It's Mr. Burrow, Darren Henwood, Kay Taylor, Luke Shelley, Finn Woolery, and Mythic Guardians. You guys are what keeps the channel going. This playtest is for you. So exciting that next episode this will be with actual cards made in an actual factory. Some dice for you, steel token in the middle, and roll for who goes first. 5. Ocean player is going first, and we're not using this roll as the starting roll for the game. So, will these decks work? Draw 5. Okay. We'll start by rolling. We've got a 1, so that's a reroll, and a 2 means 3. I think we're going to start off with a Sinister Stepstones. Draw 2, sacrifice an Ocean card. I think we'll sacrifice this Dunatomic Abomination, because we're not going to be able to use that for a while. I'll then play an Amobapod, pass the turn. 5 and 6 for the start of the turn. Let's roll. We've got a 6, that's big. Zonk the Ancient, and play a Stonegaborg. Zonk, kill Amobapod.
The battle started with the Desert player going 3-1 in terms of Evolver stages early on, while the Ocean player struggled to get their game set up by having their blubs void, and that's really the key to this Ocean deck. They did bring out a Blubbertron 5000, which brought them back into the game, but when it killed the Desert player's Zonk the Ancient, it looked like the Desert player was really going to take the lead, as they brought out the aim of this deck, Rockabocker. Spoiler alert, it didn't work.
But we'll kill Zonk the Ancient. Zonk the Ancient's ability, we can bring out something, well, we need something with more than 320 power. Zonk the Ancient only brings out cards with 160 or less. So it's time for the boy, Rockabocker. Come on, give me a 4 or 5. That's a 6, which is terrible because it kills himself. Never mind. Desert players go. Draw. Roll. 3. We'll go for another Vessel Nestler. They're not going to want to attack that. Okay. Draw and roll. 6. So we use Blubberator's ability, we can bring back a Blood Blast. Nothing too crazy. I think we'll kill the Stonegaborg. I don't really want to go near those Vessel Nestlers because they are very annoying cards. Draw and roll. 6. That's something good. Okay, we'll try again. Let's go this time with a Dice Time Shifter. So now I can re-roll for card abilities. We'll go for a Rockabocker. Let's roll. 4 or 5. That's a 4. I'm not going to gamble. I'll keep 400 power. It's very strong. Let's go 400. Kill that Blubbertron 5000. And then Vessel Nestler kill a Blood Blast. Pass the turn. Draw and roll.
The Desert player did then soon try again with a second copy of the boy, which was a bit more successful. The score then made its way to 4-1, and the Ocean player was really lagging behind. They brought out a Daibakadra, which through its ability got up to 300 power and caused a few problems for the Desert player, taking out their stage 1 and 2 Evolvers. But that was swiftly followed up by a debut for Kazonk, which works perfectly for the Desert player, just as I'd hoped. And then, 2 turns later, it happened again.
Let's try for it. I think we've got the ability to pull off a Kazonk here. So, for the first time, let's use him. Roll. And if I get a 6, which I didn't, I could void one opponent's defender. However, Kronk's ability, I can +1 to an ability roll once a turn. So this 5 becomes a 6. And Kazonk has worked. We'll take out this Daibakadra. That was very satisfying. Thank you, Desert Deck. That's exactly what I planned for you to do when I made you.
They really then should have won after this, but after a turn full of misplays, I can only blame myself, but I'm using these new decks for the first time, so it's going to be a learning curve for me. They allowed the Ocean player back into the game, and if there's one thing you should never do in this TCG, it's let that Ocean player survive an extra turn. They got a hold of a second Diabacadra, this time with 6 killed Ocean defenders, and with a 50 power boost for each, it got up to 450 power, and it just totally dominated the Desert deck. Literally the last episode, I bumped him up to have a base power of 150 because he hadn't done much in testing, but I guess Diabacadra is just one of those cards you can build an entire deck around, which I didn't really take into account when making the starter decks, and this got the Ocean player back into the game, and let's see how the end of this battle played out.
Bring back Blood Blast one last time. Let's go Jellyfished. Diabacadra kill. Other Diabacadra kill the Evolver. Your opponent voids 2 defenders in play. I'll choose these 2. And then that is all we can do. Draw. Roll. That sucks. I'll play my Evo Lance, allowing my Evolver to attack and kill one of these 450 Diabacadras. Boink. Triple block juice. Maybe I shouldn't have put 3 block juice in this deck. Pass it over. Draw. What can they do? Oh, we can win it. Aqua Juice. All Ocean Evolvers gain 100 power. 550. Bam. Take out that Terror Rock Overlord. So, turns out Diabacadra is really freaking good. Do I regret bumping his power up from 100 to 150? Perhaps. That was a cool battle though. I think I didn't find it as fun as the just base starter deck battles. I think these specific strategies make the game more kind of simplified, but still enjoyable. Yeah, it was an even game. It still seems to be the case that the Ocean X slightly clinches things, but... Anything you think I should have done differently? I think maybe there was one or 2 moves. I definitely misplayed with the Kazonk earlier. But fun nonetheless. So thanks so much for watching. Next episode I'll hopefully have the fully printed prototypes of the game from makeplayingcards.com. So excited for that. And I'll be making a start on the first booster set. I've been doing a bit of artwork this week and it's looking good. We're moving fast. But thanks to everyone for watching. Let me know which game name you like. Once again, that's Evolvers TCG, Evo Realms TCG, and Evolvera TCG. Join the Discord and play some games against me on Untap. Support the game by joining the Patreon, and big thanks to Crosslist for sponsoring this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.